What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most requested reviews analysis, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. But before we get into that, if you're considering a purchase, don't miss out on this incredible discount available right now. Check the description below and the pinned first comment. Now, let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer explains that they finally found a working solution for all their international trips. For years, our reviewer had been juggling local SIM cards for an older mobile Wi-Fi unit to connect multiple phones and a tablet, a process they found cumbersome. Different providers had various drawbacks. For instance, one popular European SIM worked for data but annoyingly blocked Wi-Fi calling and standard text messages. With a trip to a new continent on the horizon where their old hardware wouldn't function, they decided it was time to find a better system. Taking this new mobile hotspot on a European trip as a test drive, this client found it worked wonderfully. They noted that after a few minutes to connect to the local network upon arrival, the connection was solid and reliable, except in a few remote areas with spotty signals. A feature our reviewer particularly appreciated was the ability to see data usage in real time, something their previous setup lacked. The battery life was also a pleasant surprise, lasting longer than their old device and could easily be extended with a power bank. They also praised the customer support for being incredibly fast, answering questions within a couple of hours, a stark contrast to the multi-day waits they experienced with a competing service. The unit's ability to accept a physical SIM card was also seen as a great fallback option. While overwhelmingly positive, our reviewer did have a couple of minor critiques. They pointed out that data plans activate automatically when the device is powered on in the designated region, which could be an issue if one needs to turn it on briefly at home before a trip to a neighboring country. They would prefer a manual activation option. Additionally, there are some inconsistencies in the data plans, wishing for longer validity periods on certain packages, and noting that plans for some parts of the world are significantly more expensive than others. However, they concluded that even with the higher cost for their upcoming multi-country journey, the sheer convenience of the device makes it a worthwhile investment.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer has owned this mobile hotspot for about 2 years now, and while it doesn't get used every single day, it's proven to be a reliable backup. Our reviewer finds it particularly useful during unexpected power outages and when needing to work while traveling. Durability-wise, this client has been impressed. Despite a few clumsy drops, it's held up remarkably well. In one particularly dramatic incident, it even tumbled down several flights of stairs, resulting in only a small crack and no functional issues whatsoever. Connectivity is straightforward. After the initial free period, topping up data is easy through their app, which offers flexible plans, even down to single-day options. The app itself is user-friendly, making it simple to select a plan and pay. Multiple devices can connect to the hotspot without a significant drop in performance. The setup process, guided by the included manual, is equally simple. Our reviewer has successfully used it for Zoom meetings, online gaming though with some lag, and general browsing and work during power outages, all thanks to a simple one-day plan. While consistent connectivity has been the norm, slightly slower speeds have been observed in more remote areas. The main drawback is battery life. This reviewer cautions against relying on it for extended trips like camping or hiking without a charging option. The battery might not last more than half a day with constant use, a lesson learned the hard way during a hike. However, for shorter power outages at home, where charging is readily available, it's less of a concern. While there hasn't been noticeable battery degradation over time, our reviewer has noted that the device seems to heat up more quickly than when it was new, despite infrequent use. Overall, our reviewer considers this mobile hotspot a worthwhile investment, especially for its reliability during power outages and the convenience it adds to road trips. The pricing is seen as fair considering the quality and consistent performance over the years.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this mobile hotspot, especially for those traveling in areas with spotty cell service. They picked it up specifically for trips to the Navajo reservation, where they often struggle to get a signal. Our reviewer was thrilled to find it actually worked. It connects to the local tower, allowing them to connect their phone and get service in areas where they previously had none. They even used it during a major event and had service all day with 3 phones connected without any noticeable performance issues. The client also mentioned using this hotspot while driving in the Four Corners area, noting good signal and speed along the way. A trip to California also went smoothly, with great connectivity on the I-10 and throughout the LA area. However, the return trip presented a challenge, as the hotspot couldn't connect between Palm Springs and Quartzsite, which was puzzling since it worked fine on the way there. A reviewer also appreciated the ease of setup. They advised downloading the app while in Wi-Fi range before turning on the device, as it's important to complete the setup before heading out. They also reminded users that the 30-day countdown begins as soon as the device is powered on, so planning ahead is essential. It can take a minute or two to connect to the network, but patience is key. Connecting a phone or tablet is straightforward, with the password easily accessible. Plus, it's possible to charge the hotspot without turning it on. All in all, this client would recommend this gadget.
And that's a wrap. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've got thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.